channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Renita. I'm here today with my husband, Durante. We wanted to take this time to discuss our thoughts of Africa so far. Someone suggested that I do a vlog or a video on that, just to know what we thought about being in Africa. For me, I could say that growing up as a child, I pretty much saw Africa. I think most kids that grew up around the same time I did, we saw Africa one way, and it was just through what we saw on TV or what someone else told us, and we kind of just thought one thing, that all Africa was the same, you know, whether that was just like the jungle or, yeah, pretty much that's what it was. I didn't know as a kid that, you know, there's a lot more to Africa than what I was shown. So as I grew up and became an adult and started to become more interested in Africa, just doing my own research and even meeting people that were from the continent, I got to learn different. And some things were still shocking to me just because growing up I just knew what I knew. And when I came to see different things and learn different things, it was kind of surprising. So I, wanted to explore more of that, whether it was through videos, me doing research on my own, and I did start to see things in a different way. And what was more amazing to me, even as, being an adult, meeting people that were not Black and that had been to the continent several times and was able to share with us their experiences and telling us where they thought we should go visit first, different countries and stuff. And that was pretty amazing to me. I'm like, I've never been to Africa, and these people who don't look like me have been several times. They know more about Africa than most people that I know about Africa, and that was pretty weird. And so that did spark my interest even more, because I wanted to be able to say things just like the people who didn't look like me were able to say things. So we kind of started our journey together as wanted to know more and explore. And I'll let Durante say something at this point.
So we've been about 3 different countries in Africa, but we've stayed in 2. So we've been to Tanzania, Ethiopia, Johannesburg.
So South Africa.
South Africa.
And in Kenya.
In Kenya. And so we've lived in Tanzania for a few months, and for about 5 months. And it was eye-opening to see how friendly the people were. And just like we were interested in who they were and their background and their culture, they were interested in us and what part of America and how is it in America. So it was cool to see that they received me and my family, and it was intriguing on both parts. So I'm glad they received us well in Tanzania. And in South Africa, we've been here a few weeks, and we've enjoyed it as well. And so we'll continue our journey and learn more about the people of South Africa, and see where it takes us.
So for me, I think that South Africa is more similar to America, if that's a fair assessment. I mean, with just the familiarity as far as things that that may be here that is there as well. So yeah, it's familiar in that sense. But out of the 2 countries that we've been to, the thing that I struggle with is just like, is intriguing to me that you see people that look like you, but they're able to speak the language that you speak, as well as whatever their maybe native language or tribal language is. And it kind of, like I said, I'll just say for me, it kind of makes me feel, I don't know, a little bit left out, I guess, because, you know, they kind of look at us and they think that, well, they're from America and they want to know more. But when I hear people speaking their language and I can't communicate, and I feel like I should be able to, because we look the same way, I should be able to speak to you the same. And it's you know, just being from America, and we only learned English. And although there are different dialects of English, if you're from the South, you sound a certain way. If you're from the North, you sound a certain way. But we all speak the same language. So when we came to the continent and we hear different languages, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. Now they can communicate this way. And we pretty much know one way. We had been learning Swahili, but you know, as you travel throughout the continent, you learn that there's many different languages that are spoken. So, yeah, like I said, that's just pretty intriguing to me to know that there are different languages that are spoken by different tribes of people, and they can communicate with us as well.
So, I would advise any African American intrigued by Africa to come over here to kind of debunk some of the stuff that we hear about Africans and what they think about us being from America. We hear that Africans really don't like African Americans, and I know it depends on what part of Africa you go to, but we've experienced different. The people are receiving, they're willing to teach you their culture, teach you their language, teach you about their food and how they do their family organizations and tribal things, and it's been eye-opening experience, and to the point where I love Africa, and it'll always be a place in my heart, and I wish we would come back, you know, pretty often.
So, would you say there's anything in either country that we lived in so far that's like so much different, to where it's like, yeah, this is kind of, it takes a lot to get used to?
Well, the language, but all that takes to learn the language or to get familiar with the language is an open mind. And we know quite a bit of Swahili, which is an East African language, but it still takes some time to get used to, because just like with learning any other language, it just takes time. And so just being immersed in the culture, it's just not like you're gonna learn it in the first month and be fluent in it. So that's the only thing that I saw that was hard to get used to. But like I said, though, people are willing to teach you what they know.
So for me, this wasn't, well, in the beginning it was a little different, but it wasn't just so, you know, the end of the world or anything. But so we experienced it in both countries that we lived in. In Tanzania, they would have power outages, but the place that we lived did have a backup generator, so when the lights went out, you know, they came back on in a matter of seconds in most cases. But here in South Africa, they do load shedding, which is scheduled power outages. And so yeah, that's a little different, because you know, like, you know, no place in the world is perfect. So it's not like America has everything that's so outstanding. I mean, the power goes out there, but it's normally, if a storm comes through or something like that, but just like a scheduled daily or a weekly power outage. Takes a little getting used to, but you just, occupy your time with doing something different. But yeah, that's one of the things that was a little strange for me when we first came. But outside of that, I mean, it's been a good experience. I'm glad that we get to say that we have done this, and I look to come back to the continent as well. It's been an experience for our whole family at this point, so we've enjoyed it, and we look forward to enjoying the rest of our stay here. But if you don't have anything else, I guess we'll end the video here. Thank you all for tuning in to another video. Please like, share, and subscribe for more video content uploads. I'm enjoying this process, and I'm enjoying that you seem to be enjoying it as well. So until the next video, bye-bye.